everybody, it's your girl Chef Shetty. I'm coming to you today with some quick recipes. Yes, we are all stuck in quarantine. We're probably running out of things to fix. Me personally, do have the gift of cooking. I am a chef, professionally trained, been cooking since I was 11 years old. This is my passion. But what I want to do today is I want to give you a couple of my pink grits recipes. And it's just simple stuff. It's stuff that I'm pretty sure you already have in your cabinet. We've all been going grocery store crazy. So it's going to be fried chicken, pink grits way. It's also going to be some mashed potatoes in a pack. So we're not doing anything from scratch today because why? We're in quarantine. I mean, we got all these ingredients in our cabinet already. So I'm just going to show you my way of cooking it. And we're also going to make some fried corn. It's your girl Chef Shetty. Follow me. Come on, let's go cook. Okay, everybody, so this is what we're cooking today. Like I said earlier, we are making chicken. So what I did was I went ahead and prepped my items. These are chicken wing parts, so wingettes, drums. What I use for seasoning is my seasoning, my pink grits season it, all-purpose seasoning. This is mine. This is my brand. This is what I sell. I'm telling you, it's the bomb on chicken. It's the bomb on everything, but put this in your chicken. So this is how I use it. Water. Don't buttermilk nothing. I don't like burnt-looking chicken. Don't buttermilk nothing. You hear me? Water. I do a half a cup of flour. Okay, I put my chicken pieces in there. I put the flour in the water. I season my mixture with my pink grit seasoning. And then I mix it. I let it sit for 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. Then I have my flour mixture. Again, I use my seasoning into my flour mixture. I mix it around. I get it real well incorporated. This is how I do my fried chicken. So for all of you that tasted my fried chicken, y'all always say I have the best fried chicken. I'm giving y'all a quarantine secret today. All right? So let's get this chicken dredged. Let's move this out the way. And so all I do is I just drop that in there. Simple. Coat it up real good. And I just make a little section for the ones that I have coated. And I try to get under all the little corners and crevices. Same thing, I do the same process. Some people use a bag, all that. I just use a bowl. It's simple because if I get little clumps in here from my flour and water mixture, I can easily just take them out in a bag. You know, pretty much you can use a bag too. People use a brown paper bag. But I do it this way. It's just the same. I mean, you really ain't doing nothing different. It's all dredging chicken, so this is what I do. I have my oil heating already. I use pure canola oil. Some people use peanut oil. I stopped using peanut oil a long time ago when my nephew was born, and he was born with peanut allergy, so I stopped using that, and now I just use canola oil. Works just fine. But you can pretty much use any high oil that you can use at a high heat and that you can reuse. So mine is canola oil. That's what I prefer. But this is pretty much it. You just dredge your chicken. Same thing. Shake it off. And right before you get ready to put it in your hot oil, you shake it off. Just so that this flour doesn't go too much to the bottom, because once too much thick flour gets down to the bottom of your pot or your frying pan, a lot of times that burns. It's like burnt particles that could get stuck to your fresh chicken that you're making. So, but this is pretty much how it looks. Nice pieces. All right, and then I'm gonna come back with me dropping it in the hot oil once this oil, and I am warming the oil now, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, you guys, the best way that I test my oil to see if it's hot enough, some people use a wooden spoon. If you stick the wooden spoon down in there, the tip of a wooden spoon, if it starts bubbling, that's an indication that it's hot. Also, if you have a thermometer, if it reads 350, 375, you can start dropping your chicken. I do mine the old school way. Since I was 11, I've been doing it this way. Take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it in, it sizzles, you ready to go. If it doesn't sizzle and it's just sitting, it floats right down to the bottom, yeah, you gotta wait a little bit more. But for this one, it's sizzled. And what I use is, I mean, you know, you can use a deep fryer, which I do have. I have a double-sided deep fryer. I have a large deep fryer. But again, we are in quarantine. Some people don't have deep fryers at home. So I just take a pot with an inside metal surface, or you can use one of those rice pots that they sell at an Asian market or a Latin market. Those metal rice pots, they are the best to fry chicken in, my personal opinion. But you can pretty much use anything. You can use a cast iron skillet. You can use a frying pan. Put your oil in there. However you like to fry your chicken, because it's still going to come out the same as long as you're cooking it the right way. I just do it this way because I can do a lot of pieces at once. So I like to do a deep pot. All right, so I'm getting ready to drop my chicken in. Again, I shake it off, drop it. You hear that sizzle? Okay, so the other trick is the best way to know if your chicken is done. Some people are like, do I put on a timer? What do I do? The best way to see if your chicken is done is after a while, and I would say 12 to 15 minutes for small chicken pieces like this. 15 minutes, the minimum, and most of the time it will start floating to the top with less bubbles. So once it starts looking like that, I'll come back to you guys and show you what it looks like. All right, guys, we're back, and the chicken, it's been 15 minutes, and I just want to show you. Now, what I have here is a rack. You can get it from Walmart. Pretty much, you can get one of these from anywhere. Even if you go to Home Goods, anywhere, Bed Bath & Beyond, anywhere that sells kitchen items, get this rack. Sometimes they come like in a two-piece, two-part. What I got basically is a pan under it. I got some just traditional paper towels, but once I lay these on the rack, it's basically the hot oil is gonna drip down on the paper towel, and it's not, usually, you know, if you don't have one of these, just get a pan, double up your paper towel, and lay this on your paper towel, and just try to rotate it so the oil doesn't set. But let me take out the chicken. I want to show you what it looks like. Just lay that down there. And I just usually shake it off. I want to show you what it looks like. This is what the chicken looks like. Nice and breaded. There you go. Take all this, put it here, drop it. And then basically you just do this, you repeat the same process. You just drop it down there. Again, like I said, 15 minutes. If you like a harder crust, then you do 18. But for these small chicken parts and with you deep frying them, and as long as your chicken's completely thawed out. Mine always is thawed out because I keep it in my my wet mixture for 30 to 40 minutes. But yeah, pretty much this is how it go, and then you just repeat the process all over again. Next time I come back, half of my chicken is going to be done. And then also what I want to tell you is, if you are trying to get your meal together faster, my one suggestion for you is when you drop your last batch of chicken, if you're making something simple like this here, like I said, I got the bag of mashed potatoes. That's quick. I got canned corn. Again, this is quarantine meal, right? You got canned goods and all the stuff that y'all ripped off the shelves. So it's easy to make these things. But if you want your dinner to be done at the same exact time, I clearly suggest that the best thing for you to do is to go ahead and when you drop your last batch of chicken in your hot oil, then go ahead and get your pan out for your fried corn. Go ahead and get your pot out and start boiling your water for your mashed potatoes. And when I come back to you, I'm going to have my last batch of chicken drop, and I'm going to show you how I make my bagged mashed potatoes and my fried canned corn. Okay, everyone, I'm back. What I'm making right now is going to be my fried corn. I did drop my last batch of chicken in. So remember what I told you? When you drop your last batch of chicken in, then you work on your easy sides. This don't take too long. I got my heat up high on my pan. I got a half a stick of margarine I'm going to drop in here. Into that half stick of margarine, what I have here is some Fiesta corn, and I've drained 2 cans of Fiesta corn. I drained all the juices out of there, and the reason why is because I don't want the corn to steam. I want it to fry. That's the reason why I put half a stick of margarine in there, because this is fried corn. So get that, basically melt it down. And then at this point, you can go ahead and drop your corn in. The margarine doesn't have to be melted all the way. Just enough to coat the pan. You get it in there. And to this, what I'm going to add is, and I love using Badia seasonings. When I'm not using my pink grit seasoning, when I'm not using my barbecue rub that I made that is owned by my company, Pink Grits, I do also use regular seasonings, and the brand Badia is my favorite. So I just sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder, sprinkle a little bit of pepper, and again, it's Badia. That's the best brand to me. And I do a tad bit of salt, nothing too crazy, just a little sprinkle. And that's it on that, because with the Fiesta corn, it already has a lot of flavoring in it, plus I'm doing the margarine. So, and then I'm over here on this side. While that's going, I'm over on this side, and I'll let that sit in there for a minute. I'm just pretty much moving my chicken around. Chicken is almost done. I have my water boiling on the other side, and I'll show you what I'm doing with that. And I'm quickly just doing a little toss. Get the rest of that butter incorporated in there. Sorry, margarine. I know I keep saying butter. It looks like butter, but it's margarine, just in case you guys are wondering. Sometimes with butter, when you're frying things, the butter turns too brown. And I don't want my corn looking burnt, but I do want it nicely flavored. So just put that half a stick of margarine in there. And just let that sit. Let that sit there. And then I'll be back with showing you how I make my mashed potatoes. All right, you guys, I'm back. The corn is finished, and again, the corn takes 5 minutes. I have water boiling right now. What I am going to do into the boiling water is probably my own measurements without a measuring cup, so please forgive me. but about a cup of milk inside your half a pot of water, which is basically like 3 cups of water. And to that, I'm going to add the other half of the margarine into that. And then into that, I'm going to use that same trio. So it's going to be sprinkle of the garlic powder, Badia brand. You can use any brand you want. Again, I use Badia. Sprinkle of pepper. And a sprinkle of salt. Okay? And to that, I'm just going to let it warm up, but I'm not going to let the milk bubble. I'm just going to let it warm up for a good, I want to say a good 5 seconds. Because I do have my heat up high, and once it starts, the rim of the milk starts bubbling around the rim is when I turn it off. And then plus you'll see the butter start melting or the margarine start melting in there. I turn it off. And one of the reasons why I turn it off is because mashed potatoes will pop you. The minute you start pouring your mashed potatoes in, they would pop you. And I don't want you to get popped by hot mashed potatoes because it burns and it don't feel good. So what I have is baby red mashed potatoes. And then I also have I have a pack of buttery golden flake, golden selects, which is basically like golden and russet potatoes mixed. And again, this is bagged, this is quarantine meal, this is quick meal. Nobody really has the time to be cooking a lot of food every single day when you're stuck in the house. So this is quick meal ideas for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour in the other pack. And then I got one more pack. So I got 1 pack of Yukon Gold and I got 1 pack of Baby Red. And I'm going to get that poured in there. And then I'm going to basically mix it around, dunk it in, get it all incorporated really, really good, right? Because we're going to turn this on in a minute and we're going to add a little bit more milk. So usually I add in another half a cup of milk. Now these packets only call for you to do water, okay? But in true chef fashion, if we're going to use bagged or prepackaged or, canned food, a lot of times we kind of change the recipe. And I like the way mine tastes in milk with water mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a half a cup of milk into that. And I'm going to let that sit for a second. I'm going to do a little bit more garlic powder because I love garlicky mashed potatoes. A little bit more pepper. And a little bit more salt. Okay? And then you can always add chives. But today, I'm going to add parsley flakes, but a great finisher to this is chives. Today, it's just going to be some parsley flakes, and I just do some sprinkle there, and I usually do that at the end. And then I turn this back on, because now what I want to do is incorporate everything I just put in here. Now, the other thing that you can do to jazz it up if you wanted to, was to go ahead and add some sprinkle of Parmigiano Romano cheese, whether it's fresh or whether it's the grated kind in the jar, in the container, whichever way. And you want to turn this down to medium, especially if you got a gas stove, because it starts heating up immediately. And so you definitely don't want to get popped by hot mashed potatoes, because it ain't fun. But you incorporate that, you mix it around. And once that's all mixed around, You do have the discretion of adding a little bit more margarine, but I'm cool with a half a stick. But if you want it more buttery, you either add more butter or margarine, whichever way is good for you. But this is pretty much it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you with your plated meal, show you exactly what it looks like, all on a plate put together. All right, you guys. Now, I said I was coming back with the plated meal. Don't judge me. It's paper plates. Again, we live in that quarantine life. These kids is tired of being in the house, so the last thing they want to do is continuously wash dishes every day. Now, the thing is, your mama cook, you wash the dishes. So they not with it. They came home with paper plates, and they're like, this is what we eating off of until quarantine is over. So don't judge the paper plate. But this is the crispy fried chicken, the corn, the mashed potatoes, and I do have my side of Frank's red hot sauce that I'm going to put on my chicken. I'm from up north, so that's what we do. But again, this is how you make this chicken and mashed potatoes and fried corn. And I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. You can like, comment, or share. Follow me at Pink Grits on all social media platforms. And again, it's your girl, Chef Shetty. You're cooking with Chef Shetty. And you can follow me again at Pink Grits. We love you over here. You guys stay safe, stay clean, wash those hands, and you have a nice day.